has Gen X become the biggest work loser?
I'm Gen X and I'm a bit of a loser, so yeah, maybe.
Well, this is a question that The Independent put on the table this week.
Independent? You're fancy, aren't you, these days?
I know. It was a piece by Stephen Armstrong. All right, Stephen. It's not just clickbait, apparently. The article's called 50 and Out, How Gen X Became the Biggest Work Losers with 10 years still to go. Ouch. It paints a pretty stark picture of a generation that once ruled the creative economy, Al, but are now being pushed to the sideline. So Armstrong starts with his flashback to the 90s, the good old days. He's on assignment in Dubai for a glossy magazine, doing a photo shoot that's so extravagant. It involved 3 boats, a model deep sea fishing.
Was the model deep sea fishing, or was it a model and also deep sea fishing?
I think it's a model deep sea fishing.
Goodness.
And a guy that's just there for the vibes, like kind of what's his name? Bez.
Oh, with the maracas. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just there for the vibes.
If you're from Manchester, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you probably don't.
So totally normal for the 90s. He talks about journalists that are earning 6-figure salaries for a handful of articles, photographers that are flying business class to shoot handbags. Gen X was essentially riding high. But now not so much. The same generation now in their late 40s to late 50s is facing job insecurity, shrinking salaries, and a real sense of being edged out. According to Armstrong, and backed by data from Indeed and AARP, Gen X is the least satisfied group at work today and the most likely to feel overlooked. Around 80% say they've faced age discrimination, and many are being replaced or sidelined by younger, cheaper, and more tech-savvy workers, or maybe by AI. And it's happening just as life is getting more expensive. Many Gen Xers are supporting both aging parents and grown-up kids, while also trying to figure out how to retire with very little pension security. In fact, they're the least likely generation to be on track for a comfortable retirement, according to Get Pension Ready. What really strikes me, though, is how quickly the creative and media jobs Gen X built their careers around have either disappeared or been completely devalued. So today, senior journalists are earning about £22,000, graphic designers about £28,000, photographers around £24,000, and many are retraining as coaches, therapists, or wellness practitioners just to stay in work. That in itself is a problem, but another conversation for another day. So from a small business perspective, why should you care? Well, it raises some really big questions. Are you underestimating the value of experience? Are we too quick to write off people who don't speak fluent TikTok or AI prompt engineering? If Gen X feels like it's being pushed out, what does that say about how we build sustainable teams with a mix of ages, skills, and perspectives? Al, as the Gen X in the room, do you think we are guilty of overlooking Gen X in the workplace? Or is this just a natural shift out with the old and in with the new?
It's kind of difficult because we are in a very specific sort of like unique perfect storm here where there is so much more technology now. So boomers at my age, I'm 48, boomers at my age wouldn't have had AI coming in, wouldn't have had all the technology that's come in the last 20 years. So it is a bit of a perfect storm. I don't know. I think part of me goes, it is sad. Part of me goes, well, Gen Xers, we were the original latchkey kids. We got on with it as kids. When we played out, fell over, broke an arm, and then carried on playing, and then nipped to hospital and went back in for our tea. It's like, we can do this. We've got this. We've got resilience. That's the one thing that we've got as a generation is resilience. So why not retrain? Why not go, okay, all right, God, this is going to be annoying because I just thought I got rid of the kids. Just thought my life had got, but no, in the evening, an hour, learning a bit about AI or RAG or something like that. In the evening, learning how to code with so many things like Replete these days and Lovable and all the other ones I can't remember, Bolt AI. There are so many things that you can actually learn how to code. Now, you don't have to necessarily code so you can build something amazing, but at least you can be involved in the conversation in the room. So I'm like 30%, oh yeah, this is a bit shit, isn't it? And 70%, this is an opportunity, especially if you think about your competition as not necessarily your competition being millennials or Gen Z, but your competition being other Gen Xers who are too lazy to do what you're going to do, which is spend an hour or 2 hours retraining at night. But just as a quick aside, I was reading a similar article to this, maybe even like The Guardian, not that I'm particularly politically towards The Guardian, but I read it in The Guardian. Maybe it was a similar article they'd taken from the same sources, but they were saying that someone at work was training a Zoomer on a computer, and that's exactly like training a boomer because they're so used to iPads and phones that when you actually try and say there's a mouse, they click on this, they go click, and they press with their finger on the screen. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Anyway, so I don't know, Lee, what are your thoughts?
You're right. Your research does show that Gen X tends to be highly resilient. They are the latchkey kids. And same with the older millennials as well, the geriatric millennials, which I am one. Don't appreciate the term, but I understand there's a difference between me and some of the younger millennials. But yeah, researchers found that Gen X is the most entrepreneurial generation in history. They've seen economic crashes more than one. They've seen tech revolutions more than one. Workplace structures more than one. They're adaptable, but they're also probably a bit weary. And with that can come this sense of detachment that we're currently starting to see. It's one of the three main symptoms of burnout is that detachment from work. So I think in terms of an organisational's role, it's really kind of going, look, if we've got all of these talent shortages that we're concerned about, if we're concerned that Gen Z are lacking the soft skills that they need, the resilience they need, we've got this really big group of employees already in our organisation that have all these things that the younger generations are lacking. And I think it just really emphasised the point that we need all generations working together to bring both the experience and that accumulative judgment that an older person has with the innovation and scrappiness and impatience of younger people. If we can find a balance rather than just continue to go for each other, then I think organisations will be in a much better place. So yeah, I agree. I think this is an opportunity for Gen X. I think it's a massive opportunity for organisations.
Yeah, and also, if you are a slightly younger boss, manager, business owner or something, and you're thinking, oh, well, this sounds really good, so let's get Gen X on it. Just bear in mind, and this is from personal experience, but I think also from a lot of people my age, we are weary and we do get tired a bit quicker, and we haven't got as much energy as we used to have. I've noticed this particularly over the last 3 or 4 years. If I do one big thing in a day, God, I don't have the energy to do lots of other things. Like even just answering emails, I'll leave it till tomorrow. So if you compare together the energy of a Gen X or an early millennial and pair it together with the knowledge and the been there, done that, already screwed that up of a Gen Xer, you've got yourself a beautiful, beautiful team.